Welcome. Have you ever noticed your child go through emotional cycles, moments where everything seems fine, and then suddenly it isn't? You're left wondering, what triggered it? What did I miss? Or should I have done something different? I used to feel the same until I started consciously being aware of the patterns that were always there. Today, I want to share a story on how learning to notice these patterns changed our response. It's a story about awareness, patience, and the power of connection when pressure starts to build. Cody has a recurring pattern. It shows up roughly once a month. Each time, it's a little different on the surface. A behavioural change here, a different reaction there, but deep down, the structure is the same. It's like a slow build-up inside him, a pressure cooker gathering steam until something inside finally needs to burst. At first, I didn't see it. I thought each episode was random, caused by tiredness, confusion, or just one of those days. But my wife noticed it long before I did. She could tell from the look in his eyes, the way his body seemed tense, the tone of his voice. She knew. One day, after an emotional outburst that left him exhausted, she said to me, "I could see this coming for days." I remember asking, "How?" And she explained, step by step, the signs she'd learned to recognize. So, next time around, my wife gave me the heads up. I stayed neutral and watched closely. On day one, small things. He'd go quiet, less eye contact, less laughter, keeping to himself. Day two, you could see the frustration building, short answers, pushing us away, a cold look in his face. Day three, totally in his own world. Then, out of the blue, the release. Tears, anger, confusion. On day four, a slow transition to his everyday way of being. By day five, back to his regular patterns. This made me realize that it wasn't attitude he was presenting during this time. It was simply overload. Maybe too much noise, too much expectation, too many bottled emotions with no pressure release valve. Once I became aware, I changed. Instead of reacting to the explosion, I decided to look and listen for signs before it came. A number of weeks later, I noticed the same pattern forming, the same silence, the same heaviness. He didn't want to talk, didn't want to be touched. His face was serious, his laughter gone. I pictured that pressure cooker again and thought, if we're at the beginning, what can I do to help him release some of that pressure before it hits breaking point? The second day, the weather was warm, so I thought I would have a go at getting him to go for a swim. He said no. I offered him $20 to just jump in for 1 minute. Still no. At that point, I realized pushing further would only make it worse, so I let it go. An hour later, my wife let me know. He's walking around the pool. I think he's going to go in. And sure enough, he jumped in for a few minutes and got out. He then came over to me and said he wanted to go to the big pool. the aquatic centre. Now, usually I'd say maybe later or tomorrow. I'm busy at the moment. But this time, I dropped everything. I looked at him and said, let's go. At the pool, we splashed around, nothing like we usually do, as he was still in his own head. Then I noticed the walking lanes were open, a 20-metre area where you can walk or swim, used for exercise. I got Cody to come into this area with me and managed to turn it into a fun challenge. Walking races. Then alternating between walking and swimming. Each lap, I made sure he just won. We ended up doing 8 laps before he'd had enough. It wasn't a structured session, it was simple play. When we got home, it was dinner, shower, PJs, a bit of TV, then bed. The next morning I noticed a difference. He was lighter, still a bit cloudy, but calmer, more receptive. This allowed my wife and I to flood him with oxytocin during the day through hugs and praise. That day, there was no explosion. The day passed without incident. By the 4th day, he was back to his usual self. Now, looking back, a few things stood out. Our awareness of this pattern, by listening and seeing the signs, the silence, the body language, the tone, we recognize the pattern, allowing us to prepare, not react. For us, movement was our medicine. Being aware that physical release isn't just about exercise, it's emotional cleansing. When energy builds up, the body needs a safe outlet. For Cody this time, it was water. For someone else, it might be running, music, or just being outside. Self-regulation, we believe, is contagious. Our own internal states, our calmness, during this period, allowed him to reset safely at his own pace. But the biggest thing is that maybe he knew. I can't help but wonder if at some level Cody felt what was happening within him and sought the release himself. And the exercise in the pool, presented to him as fun, allowed for the release he required. It made me look at the chemistry behind it all. The dopamine, the testosterone, building up with nowhere to go, and how for him, physical activity helped bring back that balance. Then through connection and affection, we increased his oxytocin, helping all of us through this cycle. Now, when I sense the cycle returning, I see it as an opportunity to reshape this pattern and no longer a problem. Because for us, awareness gives us choice, and being aware gives us power to work on solutions. Thank you for watching, and I hope there was something here that resonated and is of assistance. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to our channel and share your thoughts, and join us for more stories, insights, and wins.